Hello, everyone, and welcome to Support Someone Saturday. I am so excited to be here today with Barb Beckman. She is the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity of Northern Fox Valley. So thank you for coming on with us this morning, Barb. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She has been in the nonprofit field for nearly 20 or 30 years, and she has mainly focused on housing. For about 12 years, Barb worked with the homeless population, providing overnight shelter and transitional housing programs. And for the last 18 years, Barb's focus has been on home ownership with Habitat for Humanity, where she has served as the executive director. So I have to tell you, last year, 2019, I came to the Northern Fox Valley chapter with my family for the first time. It is a beautiful facility. Our friends were launching Chicago Angels, Chris and Melissa Lindsley, and they did their kickoff event there. And I thought, what a beautiful place and an amazing program. And then this past March, I had the opportunity to come and be a part of Women Build. So a friend of mine reached out and said, Amy, we've got this really amazing program for women, and I'm sort of a tomboy. And so I went and I was able to encourage the team of women and men, shared a little bit, and then we worked that day on a house in Elgin. So this home was going to a single mom and her two children. I thought, what a rewarding experience. I would love to do this again. And this was right before the pandemic, like probably a week before. So I'm hoping to go back and volunteer and even be a part of Women Build next year. So a lot of amazing programs happening. Barb, we're so happy to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Amy. How are you?
Good, good. I'm making the most of this, right? With the shelter in place, and we're getting creative. And that's kind of how this Support Someone Saturday was actually birthed, wanting to come alongside of amazing organizations like yours and just get the word out there about the good things you're doing to help people. And since we have technology, why not use it and, spread
Great idea.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Barb. Okay, so can you tell us, I know it's a huge history, but can you tell us a little bit about the history of Habitat for Humanity and what your mission is in providing home ownership, and maybe like what year did you guys all get started?
Sure. So Habitat for Humanity International started in 1976.
Okay.
They have a wonderful history that I really encourage people to read about. Our affiliate, Northern Fox Valley, started in 1990. And we just celebrated our 30th anniversary on July 31st. So we have been in the community a very long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Happy anniversary. That's exciting.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So in terms of our mission, it is to bring people together to build homes, communities, and hope. And our home ownership program, essentially there's like two components to it. Okay. There's the home building side, and then there's the mortgage lending side. Okay. So the home building really begins with us acquiring property. And sometimes that's a vacant lot, and sometimes that's an existing house that we gut and rehab. Mm-hmm. So we buy the property, and then our construction team gets into architecture and engineering and getting the permits. When all of that is ready to go, we match the house with the family. And we recruit volunteers, we put together the schedule, and that's really when the building begins. And so, like you came out to the Women Build site, we have hundreds of volunteers that come out and help us build. You don't need to have any special skills, you don't need to bring your own tools. We have a great construction team, and they'll teach you what you need to do for the day. So whether it's putting up siding or insulation, painting, flooring, they walk you through that. And so that continues maybe for 6 to 9 months. And then when we're finished, we get the house appraised. We sell it at fair market value to the partner family. And then we provide them a 0 interest loan. And that's really what helps make the home affordable. Yeah. And then the families make payments to us every month, and we use those payments to build more homes. So it's a really, really wonderful program. It involves the community, it involves the family, they help build their home. And we try to do that as much as we can.
I think it's so awesome. I think just the way the whole program is set up, it's so smart, like having the family be a part of their own build. Mm-hmm. And just that 0% interest, I mean, it makes it doable for them. And Yeah, it's awesome. And especially now with everything, we're going through in our economy, and I know a lot of people are in need. I'm sure you're getting a lot of requests. But I just thought it was so cool too, what you said about we teach you. Cause I went into the Women Build thinking, I'm kind of a tomboy, but I don't have a lot of expertise in home repairs. That's really my husband. And maybe I'm not going to know what to do. And they were so patient with me. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he sort of was our main contact there, and he led us in what to do. And we painted trim and we did different things, and they taught us, and we did really well. And they're like, wow, you ladies are awesome. You did such a good job on this. And I was amazed. I'm like, I didn't even think I was going to know what to do. And I just told them I have some experience painting, and some people had experience doing flooring, and they just put us where each one of us fit, and it just worked out perfectly. So yeah,
you just have to have a willingness to serve, and really your skill set doesn't matter. You're not building the entire house in one day. You're just doing one part of it. And so it's manageable for us to teach you that part for the day. So we hope that volunteers have a rewarding experience and then come back.
Yeah, and it was great to be with other women. As women, we like to get together and chat and talk and encourage each other. So just being able to work and just kind of encourage the other ladies and be encouraged by them was really another benefit. So it was awesome. Okay, so say someone is listening right now and they are interested in your program. Can you tell us, how does someone start that process of getting help through Habitat for Humanity?
So applying for a house is very similar to applying for a loan with any other lender.
Okay.
So some of the things that are similar, we do need to make sure that you'll be able to repay the loan. So our program is geared to low-income families. So we have guidelines in terms of the income. But it varies depending on the size of your family. So there's different income guidelines if you're a family of 2 versus a family of 5.
Okay.
But we do make sure you're low income. We do that by checking your paycheck stubs and your tax returns and your W-2s. So there's all sorts of that documentation that comes along with it. There is a minimum credit score that you have to have. And then we look at your credit and make sure that you have a debt to income ratio that makes us feel comfortable that you'll be able to afford the payments on the home.
Sure.
So those are the kinds of things that are very similar with other lenders. The things that are different, we do require the families to have a housing need.
Okay.
So that can be met by living in an overcrowded situation or if you're rent burdened. And then the other component that is different is that you have to have a willingness to build your home. So we call that sweat equity. And so families have to really be okay with spending 250 hours of their life and help build their home.
Okay.
And so those are the kind of we look at the finances, the income, credit, need, and then your willingness to help build your home.
Sure.
And then the first step would really be to contact our loan originator, and he will walk you through that process. So
okay. So probably just reach out through the website. Is that the best way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know I was going to share that later, but you can share it if you want. We'll put it up on the screen too.
Okay. So our website is habitatnfv.org. You can always just find my email on there, send me a message, and I'll put you in touch with the right person.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Barb. That's awesome. Can you tell us more about your critical home repair program? Tell us what that's about.
Yeah, absolutely. So critical home repair is a companion program to our home building and our home lending. There's a lot of families in the community who own their homes, they're low income, and perhaps a repair comes up that they can't afford. Okay. So the repairs have to be a life, health, or safety issue or a code violation. So if you just want your kitchen cabinets replaced, that wouldn't fall within our program. But really the goal, we're trying to create more affordable housing, but it's also important to maintain the existing housing. And so we help families, if you qualify, there are qualifications. Again, low income, you can't be late on your mortgage. You have to have your property taxes and your insurance paid up to date. So you apply, and then if you're meet the criteria, you can explain to us what your needs are. Sometimes it's as simple as replacing a furnace. Sometimes it's more complicated and somebody needs a wheelchair ramp built.
Okay.
We recently replaced a well for a gentleman in St. Charles who didn't have clean water for 10 months. And he was getting water from his neighbor. So those are the kinds of projects we do, water heaters, furnaces, air conditioners. And so what Habitat does is we provide 75% of the funds that are needed for the repair. And then the family pays the remainder. And so our goal with the program is really to make sure that people are living in healthy, safe, well-maintained homes. You know, if houses become deteriorated, then oftentimes that family ends up being displaced. And so it's a really important program. This past year, we did 60 of those projects. So there's a big need in the community.
Wow, I can imagine.
Yeah. So that's critical home repair.
That's good, because I was thinking even people that have issues, like you said, with plumbing or clean water or different things like that, or I'm imagining maybe mold situations. Do you ever get into situations with that, or termites, or just really things that you can't really live in safely? Yeah, that's so important. That's good that you're affordable. Yeah,
those are the kinds of situations that we can help address.
That's awesome. That's so cool to know. I never even knew that you had that aspect to your programs.
It's a relatively new program. I think we've run it for about 6 years of our 30 years. And not every Habitat affiliate offers the program.
Sure.
So we serve portions of McHenry, Kane, and Cook County. And so other affiliates may not be offering that program. But ours started about 6 years ago.
Nice.
And, it's really served a very important need in the community.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Awesome. So can you tell us, Barb, what are some ways that people can get involved and support Habitat?
There's lots of different ways. I think the most popular way is to volunteer. And a lot of people want to come out to help with the home building. And I think it's a great experience. I think it's a ton of fun. And then there's also our restore. A lot of people who maybe aren't interested in being on the job site can volunteer at our restore. There's a lot of different activities there. You could be unloading a truck, you can be merchandising, providing customer service, stocking shelves, pricing merchandise. And then donating to the restore is also a way for people to be involved. If you're remodeling or redecorating or downsizing, if there's usable materials in your home, furniture, appliances, and you can donate that to us, that really helps us out. We have committees that you can serve on. We're also trying to create some virtual volunteer opportunities. Because of COVID, there's a lot of people that want to serve, but they don't feel comfortable coming out. And so we come up with some new virtual volunteer opportunities. So always lots of different ways to get involved with Habitat.
That's awesome. That's good that you're getting creative. And good to know about the Habitat Restore. So that was my next question, is if you could tell everyone more. I know I even drove by Habitat Restore before, and I'm like, what is that? So can you tell us more about that, and what's the mission of the Restore?
So the Restore is remarkable, quite honestly. So it's a resale store and a donation center. And but we take in home improvement products. So like I just mentioned, it can be furniture, appliances, windows, doors, lighting fixtures. And so we take in those items, and then some of them are new and some of them are used. And then we resell them. We try to sell them at a discount. And then we use all the proceeds from the store to build homes or repair homes. And so it's open to the public. And one of the wonderful things about it, I mean, obviously it helps Habitat with our fundraising, but it also helps keep items out of the landfills. And that's, so important to all of us. And so I feel like, it's expands our mission, because we're able to get some of these products to people who perhaps are, living on a budget, that, they can't go to a big box store and buy new kitchen cabinets. But we have some some wonderful kitchen cabinet sets come in. And so you can really update your home or replace cabinets that are, falling apart with some nice products. And so the kind of the motto at Restore is donate, shop, and volunteer. So donations are welcome, shoppers are welcome. We have contractors that come in, people who are, do-it-yourselfers, contractors, environmentalists, treasure hunters. You never know what you'll find there. So it's good to stop in and shop around. And if you can volunteer one day a week, one day a month, we would love to have the help.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what's awesome about thrifting. Like, you never know what you'll find. And I kind of shared with Barb when we started this interview, behind me is this hutch, and my father-in-law and his friend found it over at Del Webb where they live. And my husband totally redid it. It was the 1970s hutch, and we needed something. And so, he modernized it and made it country chic. And we put in Omanopa's china. So, we even repurposed the china.
Really, so it looks great. It looks great. Yeah, I'm sure we have similar things like that at the Restore.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. That's good to know that you can donate. You can even volunteer at the store, and the store is open now, even during COVID. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, 9 to 4 in Elgin.
Okay, good to know. Because that was my next question. Since we are experiencing, this pandemic right now, how has COVID-19 affected Habitat for Humanity? What kind of changes have you seen?
So during the shelter in place, we did close down for 80 days, both our construction sites and the Restore. Mm-hmm. So by closing down the construction sites, it really created delays for the families. We weren't able to complete their homes by the end of June like we had hoped. But our families were clearly very understanding and patient. Yeah. And so there was about 6 houses that we didn't finish in time.
Okay.
And so since then, 4 of them have been finished, and
good.
Working on a couple.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that affected us during COVID. And then our Restore was closed for the same amount of days. Yeah. And that really created a pretty big funding gap for us.
Yes, I would imagine.
It also created a delay with us opening up our Restore in Arlington Heights. I haven't mentioned that yet, but hopefully next month we're opening up a second store in Arlington Heights. And so just not being able to be there and work on getting it ready to open was problematic. And I think one of the hardest things that we've found is that our volunteer hours are way down.
Okay, sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it's understandable, but prior to COVID, we probably had about 4,000 volunteer hours a month.
Oh, wow.
On average.
Yeah.
And so now things are starting to pick up a little bit, but we're probably closer to about 1,000 volunteer hours a month.
Okay, so it's only about a quarter of what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's going to take us longer to build homes and longer to get product out from like the receiving areas of the Restore and get it out on the sales floor. But, I think it might be this way for a few more, a period of time. And then when people feel more comfortable, they'll be back out serving with Habitat and other local nonprofits.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of ask you more about that, since I know you do have a lot of volunteers. Are you allowing volunteers to come in, or is it having to be limited? I was kind of thinking the team we had that day in Women Build, it was probably maybe 12, 15 of us. Mm-hmm. Like, are you having to take less volunteers at a time in a house? Okay.
Yes. So 12 to 15 is kind of a typical size of group prior to COVID. Yeah. And so we have limited it down now. And we feel like we can safely have about 9 people on site.
Okay.
Everyone is required to wear a mask and then social distance. Some of that gets a little tricky. But we do have indoor work and outdoor work.
Okay.
But we haven't even been getting teams of 9. It's maybe 5 or 6 people at the most on a job site. So again, we want people to do what they feel comfortable doing. But especially when we're outdoors, we feel like we can maintain some of that separation. But it is construction, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Raising a wall will take a few hands.
That makes sense. But it's kind of like going into the store. You can try your best to social distance, but you're still passing people and, you know, even on
Yeah,
the bike path. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you're still getting in close proximity at times with people. So at least with the masks and, you know, you're probably wearing a mask and goggles anyways if you're doing home construction. So, you know,
Right. No, that's really true, Amy.
yeah,
And so we're also sanitizing our tools. We're asking people
yeah,
not to share tools. So we
yeah,
have put together a whole list of protocols that we're following.
yeah.
Um, you know, we have hand washing stations and hand
That's good.
sanitizer, um, and tons of masks if people don't have them. So
Yeah,
we're being safe about it, but trying to continue moving our
yeah.
mission forward.
I think that's smart. I'm so glad that you shared that, you know, just to let people know if they are looking to get out. I know even for myself being an extrovert, it's been very hard to be
Yeah.
inside all the time. I want to be out with people, you know, and I
Yeah.
get refilled. And I know a lot of people that enjoy volunteering, and I've done a lot of volunteering with my family. It just fills you up. I mean, you feel like you're going to help someone else, but really it helps
It
you, you
helps you
know?
too. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's good for people to know that they can get out there and there's opportunities and maybe to come back out again and serve. So thank you for sharing that with us. Barb, do you have anything else you want to add today or share with our audience here on Support Someone Saturday that you can think of?
No, just a thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for, you know, getting the word out about all of these
Sure.
wonderful not-for-profits and people. So thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. I'm so happy you came with us and joined us here today, Barb and everyone. Thank you for joining us on Support Someone Saturday. And I just want to encourage all of you, if there's someone around you in your community, in your neighborhood that you can support, to just reach out today and support someone. And I just want to wish you all a blessed Saturday. Thanks again, Barb. Take
Thank
care.
you, Amy.
All right. Bye-bye.